Recording in progress.
I just thought there's resilience and a positive outlook throughout the whole game. And guys really battled. We had a lot of contributions from a lot of guys across the board, and guys that would step up and play with confidence and play hard, get the job done.
Looking at Hayden being out, obviously probably been out the rest of the time stand. Most of the evaluation. What changes with him not being out?
He definitely brings a presence to the game. He's a big time scorer. Impacts the game in a lot of ways. It just changes, when you play with Jock and Biz, a little bit different players. Biz is really, really good at the fundamentals, being in the right spot defensively, setting screens the right way. He just kind of changes. We don't play through Biz quite as much as we play through DA, but he's definitely good setting screens, rolling to the basket, being on the rim for lobs. So. What's stuck out to you about this? He competes and plays hard. I remember playing him, when he's with the Spurs last year, he was really straight pick and pops. So I didn't know he had the ability to play on the roll, play around the rim, and catch lobs like he's been doing.
With Biz, I know you guys probably aren't surprised by him staying ready like that. But
right.
What goes into being able to not play very much and to come in and have it?
Man, he's a pro. He does what he does. He's very good at what he does. And it translates, and he can bring it to every game. He commands the paint on both ends of the floor.
What have you seen from the second? A lot of guys in and out, a lot of new guys, but it seems like they're giant.
Yeah, they're definitely, catching their stride. Torrey Craig did a great job of being on the boards. And they're figuring it out, playing hard, making shots. We've seen it in practice, and they're really showing it these past couple of games, and they've been big for us.
The offensive rebounding numbers for you guys as a team are way up, and one of the guys will crash from time to time. Is it just an instinct thing for you when you're behind the line and just kind of judging when to go, when not to?
Yeah. The hardest thing about crashing the boards is if you're on the outside, maybe waiting for a three or to run into the paint takes up energy. The fight for it takes up energy. Then you have to sprint back even harder. The defense takes up energy, that's probably the trickiest thing about it. Other than that, it's reads. It's seeing where, the ball goes opposite of the rim a lot of times on these long threes and crashing. Like Torrey Craig does a great job of just, if he's not checked by that initial defender, he's at the rim every time. And that's pretty impressive, his ability to rebound.
Let me know if I'm wrong here, but can it be situational too based on the score? If you guys are up a lot when you crash tests and anything like that factor in?
No, I don't think about it. I think of how, if I can steal an opportunity real quick, it's, sometimes you catch a team lacking, sometimes your guy's right next to you ready to box you out, then it's a lot harder of a fight. But if he's turned, no matter what the situation is, and you can get by him and move him around and get to the rim and put pressure on the rim from an offensive rebound standpoint, that's when you do it.
You have a tip top yet in the league?
Yeah, I had a couple my rookie year.
You did? Right.
Maybe 3.
Corey's in the lead right now.
Yeah.
A couple already.
Yeah. I had a couple my rookie year. I haven't had many since, but I definitely had a couple that year.
Extra couple this year, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. Just got to keep attacking, man.
Yeah. How tough is it to defend against Rockets Porter, Jalen Green, and Bledsoe?
Shifty, want to play with the ball in their hands, use a lot of dribbles. And multiple moves to try to get by you. So it just kind of makes you really focus and guard ISO basketball.
Does it kind of make it harder when you see Jalen go down and drive as hard as he does and explosive and then kick out to play? So, how hard is it to close down in those situations when you're trying to, stop a guy on the run like that?
It's all the same, really. You want to protect the paint, want to protect that orange area right there, but you also got to be aware of who their shooters are, where they like to shoot from, and how they're playing at that moment. But we got guys that are pretty good at guarding the ball, so it doesn't stress our help side too much. And we're also, a pretty experienced group that knows how to play together, knows how to execute defensively. So we'll use that to our advantage as much as possible.
Mikhail was talking about that twin connection you guys had last night. He had that kind of no-look bounce pass?
Yeah. I know he has it. He's just funny when he does it because he's really like, if he sees me, he's like, you could see him. You can see the wheels turning. And he's like bug-eyed staring this way. So I was like, that's classic Mikhail. I know him well enough by now, but he's been doing a really good job finding people. He's a really good passer. Threw a nice lob to Biz. I mean, he's able to make plays. So look forward to seeing more of that.
Would you say that, especially for you and for Jay, for getting the ball, handling it a little bit more this year, opens up that playmaking?
Yeah, and it just gets you comfortable within the game, man. Anytime you can have the ball in your hands a little bit extra longer, that's straight, settling into the game, feeling the ball, gets you in rhythm, shooting rhythm, scoring rhythm. So it's real nice.
It's another way of saying Mikhail's a terrible card player, right?
Yeah. No, actually, he's okay because he's a lucky guy. But yeah, he's a lucky guy in cards and stuff.
That they have that look on the face. Is this the time you're getting lucky again?
Yep. That's exactly Mikhail. Yep. I was like, but he tries to, he's not horrible at creating a poker face. He's solid. But in the games that Mikhail's mannerisms well enough.
You're a Pennsylvania guy, so are you partial to the Phillies in the World Series, or are you strictly biased?
No, when you're Pennsylvania, there is no such thing really as a Pennsylvania guy, I don't believe. I don't think there's anybody from Pittsburgh that's like, oh, no Pittsburgh teams in it, so I'm going to cheer for Philly, or anybody in Philly that's like, oh, no Philly teams, I'm going to cheer for Pittsburgh. We don't really get along not in we hate that other city, but it's not, that's like us in Pittsburgh and Cleveland are really close, way closer than Philly and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And you'll never find anybody in Pittsburgh that'll cheer for anything Cleveland, just because they're the close city. So same thing. Just because they're Pennsylvania don't mean nothing. People.
Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are further apart than just
5 hours.
Yeah.
4.5, 5 hours. Right across Turnpike. Them tolls be crazy too. Those tolls get you for $50.
Yeah. Being from Connecticut, I'm part of New England and tri-state area. We got too many choices.
Have you been to the Pirates Park?
Yeah, PNC Park, beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Great place to watch a ball game.
Me and my dad have a running list. We've been to 15 so far. That's maybe top for a while.
Yeah, it's a good vibe, especially, I cheer for the Pirates. I cheer for every Pittsburgh team except Steelers. And people act like I'm not from Pittsburgh because of it, but
good year not to.
Yeah.
Gerald's a Steelers fan.
You're a Steelers fan?
I've already accepted them.
As you give Pickett some time to grow. Kid's talented. He's just putting a lot on his plate right now, and they're saying Trubisky's not throwing the ball downfield, so it makes Pickett feel like I got to get in and create something, but you're giving him a little bit too much at once. And you know what I mean?
It's fine. I'm going for Victor Williams. Wow. You got to get your bar back.
Ooh.
Just when he was putting it together, it's like, there he is. The best.
They said he did it the week before.
Was that?
No, he did it. He did it against the Falcons, I think, but he played through it.
It's good.
I hope he's all right, man.
Not bad.
I hope he's all
Are they
right.
saying a month?
4 to 6, yeah. Classic 4 to 6.
Joe will keep him up.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
But they got weapons, man. Tyler Boyd, Pittsburgh kid, played against him in high school. Good player.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is cold. Yeah. He'll be solid. Browns, Monday Night Football.
Make it work.
Steelers, Eagles. A little Pittsburgh, Philly. So Pittsburgh, Philly, people really don't nobody really cares for the Eagles at all. They would like to beat the brakes off the Eagles every time.
Like the TL.
Yeah. All the antics, man. All those antics.
We don't have something like that. We need more of that.
Yeah.
We have it with the colleges, but that's kind of like a.
Is the colleges though? Is it lopsided? Has it been lopsided recently?
Depends on who you ask. I'm the U of A grad, the ASU grad, so.
Who's winning right now? Which school has bragging rights right now?
We typically run basketball, obviously.
And ASU typically runs football?
They typically run football, but it's kind of getting in this weird spot right now. Their program's a dumpster fire. Arcs is on the up and up.
Yeah, but you're up and up, and their dumpster fire is unfortunately oddly too close to be comfortable.
We won our second game in 2 years at the start of the year. That we went.
But the quarterback you guys have is decent. Delora.
The wideouts too.
I don't know the wideout. Jaden Delora. Delora's playing well from what I've seen.
Yeah, the wide receiver was pretty good.
We're in a really good spot. We got this new head coach, Jed Fish, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's been really recruiting, and he got Delora here, and then basketball's coming late.
He's a good coach.
And they got the women's basketball that are better than the ASU.
Yeah.
In the all-time, so it's called the Territorial Cup. It's been around for 150 years. We're slightly ahead, but
I got my favorite college game today, Pitt, North Carolina.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
how many? What are the wagers? Who we put not
Well,
not,
she's
not
from here.
numbers, but I'm just asking who they with. You got any?
Who am I with?
Yeah, I'm assuming you have wagers for this, right? Like
No.
friendly bets, nothing yet.
No, because I like both schools. I got
Oh, okay.
people I know at both.
Yeah.
But the quarterback at North Carolina was my teammate, Luke's little brother.
Oh, never.
And so I cheer for him like that's my little brother.
His
know?
quarterback is he's a native.
He's a Scottsdale kid.
Yeah, there's a mountain.
Yep.
It's Slovis.
Scottsdale.
For USC, yeah.
And then some of those kids, my little brother played with a lot of those Pittsburgh players growing up,
Yeah.
AAU basketball, football, whatnot.
Right.
So I know a couple of those fit kids, and it's nice to see, kids that you've seen since they were yay high
Yeah.
playing.
The problem with us is that usually U of A is really good and ASU is not so good, or it's the other way around. Rarely are they together.
Right,
We're
so, like, the
San
rivalry is,
Francisco,
like-
we're
The rivalry is like, I don't know.
you need that. You need like the game to feel like this year. It's
Like they mean something.
4-7 against.
And it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we will.
Ooh.
Yeah. Better times ahead, hopefully.
I think they'll be all right.